The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride. Players Lounge right here on a Tuesday. You know the crew. Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, Danny McCray. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is a huge week. It is Cowboys. It's 49ers. This is the game that we had scheduled on. We kind of circled on the schedule like this is big. Mike McCarthy acknowledged it.
Uh-oh. Because he knows. He understands.
Hey. How should he approach it? So let's go around the table. Start there.
He should approach it with the understanding that his players know that this is the team that put him out of the playoffs for the last 2 years. To go into the week acting like it didn't happen would be foolish. All right? Remind these guys, hey, man, for the last 2 times we done played them, they essentially bullied us. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't get anything going on offense. And if we want to change the narrative about what is the San Francisco 49ers now and the Dallas Cowboys, not the old days, the new ones, then we need to go out here and prove that we ain't that team that we put on tape them last 2 times. This is a different. He said it's time to flip the script. That's what he said about Bill. It's time to flip the script. That's what he needs to do. So I'm glad he's embracing it.
They essentially did what, Danny? No, they bullied us.
Oh yeah, they
stole on. Yeah, they stole on us. That's what they did. They stole on us. If you ever seen something, that's what they did. They stole on us, and we going to get our lick back. Okay. That's why this is the whole thing right here. When Mike talks about, or anybody talks about this being the test that you want versus a team like the 49ers, they're talking about those last 2 playoff games. They're talking about the way that they beat you, that you had to try and you had that silly play with Zeke that looked so crazy. And then you had to play with Dak where the referee he ran over the referee. You had all of those plays going at the end of your season at the hand of one team, and that was the San Francisco 49ers. You have to set the tone not only in this game, but also send a message to everybody in your division as well. This is for Philly. This is for all the tough games that you got. This is it. Because if you go in there and you get bullied again, what are they going to say about you?
Oh, you already know what they're going to say about you. If you go in there and get bullied. I mean, we talk about it. This is a huge game. This is a huge game, and Mike McCarthy, I'm glad he didn't approach it like, it's just another game. This is the next week. That's why it's important. No, this is a team that, like you guys both said, punched you in the mouth the past 2 years. So this is going to be a huge test to see where they are as far as, I don't want to say power rankings, but as far as where they are in the NFC, because we know San Francisco, they're the top dog right now. I mean, we can't say no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They are the top dogs right now. So this will be a measuring stick to see where this Dallas Cowboys team is. But it's not only a test for the players out there. It's a test for McCarthy as well. Because, I mean, let's call a spade right now. He's riding that great defense, and I don't blame him. Because I don't blame him at all. I mean, that's what you got to do. That's the formula to win games. You're going to ride that great defense. But that defense is going to get tested. And San Francisco, they're going to put some points up. So it's going to be down to McCarthy and this offense. They're going to get tested in the red zone, and they're going to get tested in the field. We see he can move the ball up and down in between the 20s. We all seen that. But can he get it done in the red zone? This will be a great test for McCarthy and the Cowboys.
And listen, and my guy. It's going to be a test for my guy DQ too, right? Because McCaffrey, he brings something different, man. He brings something different. And we've been watching it since that trade was made. Man. Like, we've been watching this dude be who he was in Carolina when Cam Newton was there. And we was like, hey, man, CMC can't nobody touch him. Then he went through some injuries, and now it's the resurgence of the career. Is this also the resurgence of the 49ers and Dallas Cowboys rivalry? Rivalry here?
Can you consider it a rival, though?
I mean, the games have been close.
Not lately.
Whoa. Not lately.
Listen, they ain't been no whoopings now, all right? They ain't been no whoopings. I'm going to consider it need to be something, bro, for some extra motivation because I don't want to see what happened the last 2 years. I don't want to see it.
We don't like
come out with a boombox, so we already know what time it is after that.
We've seen that, right? They did the Super Gremlin on us at our house. Twice.
Right?
And Man, CMC is legit. We watch. You turn on that tape, boy. The way that he's running right now without the injuries, and you see why everybody talks about him the way that it just seemed like for a lot of years it was all clout on CMC. Now you like, man, this dude is spin moving in traffic, running away from people. And it's not even what he does in between the tackles. It's the fact that you can't shut him down because he can go out in the pass. I mean, and he's just as dangerous there as he is as a back.
He the reason other dudes ain't getting paid. You be looking at him like, hey, can you do that?
Can you do that?
Can't do that. You better take this.
Can't do that. Can't get paid.
Saquon, you can't do that.
Can't do that, dog.
Heck, we'll go back to Run CMC because Nate Newton was sitting in here a little bit after his show, and I said, Nate, how would you stop Christian? And he said 8 in the box. What would you do?
He couldn't be the one. You got to make him one-dimensional. You got to do something. He couldn't be the one.
That's tough, 8 in the box, though. Because you
sound good.
We ain't acting like, these guys on the outside ain't no scrubs. All right, you talking about Brandon Ayuk, who, before that injury, he was killing the game. You talking about Debo. We've already known what he's done to us these past couple times. Kittle. And that's not even talking about Jennings, because that dude's a beast as well. So, the secondary played well last week.
There you go.
I mean,
Here you go. Don't
Debo,
do it.
Kittle, Jennings, one-on-one on.
Can I say this? You can't overthink this and try and be smart and get into some exotic where you got just a 5 technique and a bunch of guys standing up at the line of scrimmage. You have to be gap, integrity, sound. You can't play with this offense because look. He can legit have 120 in the first half on you. You saw that against Arizona's defense. Can we agree, though? That was a pretty good defense that we saw last week.
Yeah.
They was pretty good.
I can agree with that.
And they tried to crowd the line of scrimmage the same way. Boy, they had that all fresh white on. They looked so good in that all white. Boy, he was running right through that stuff, man. And then when you think you get a stop, he gets out in the backfield. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna say this. This is old school here. All right, all right, you playing 4-3-3-4, whatever it is. You want to make guys like this run sideways and run the hump.
Gotcha.
All right. So as a defensive lineman, if you Micah Parsons on the edge, if you Damone Clark on the edge, 55 on it don't matter who it is. You need to set the edge and knock guys back. Right. So one, the gap is not only clogged, but now he has to run the hump, which means coming backwards to run to the side versus what. What's the quarterback from Josh Dobbs did when he hit the corner and he didn't run backwards at all. It's just like he just running the angle. So you have to set the edge on this dude, and then your defensive line is gonna have to set the tone, because if they don't, you're gonna be in for a long day, because we've seen what happens when those linemen get on those linebackers and they got a good offensive line. Trent Williams is coming to talk to somebody.
He's the real deal. And to your point, heck, I've heard you say this before. Rob Marinelli used to say it all the time. When you got that scheme against Arizona, we saw what gave them troubles. Misdirection, pre-snap motion, shifting, all that type of noise. But you said it, Marinelli said it, you see a little, you see a lot. You see a lot, you see a little. We all know what happens with Shanahan's offense. He's going to try to hit you with that eye candy. You're going to get pulling guards. You're going to get motion before the hit, counters. You're going to see all that. To me, like you said, gap discipline with that defensive line, and in that second level with the linebackers and the safeties walking down, you got to read your keys, man. You got to read your keys, because it's going to be on them. Like, if Mozzie and those boys can stay gap disciplined, they'll be all right. But it's going to be on that second level players to make plays, especially coming downhill. But you got to read your keys on this one.
So back to what Nate said. Okay, heck answer now, you guys. Would you go 8 in the box against Christian McCaffrey?
Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it because that just leaves your secondary out to dry too much, man.
And his point was, your guys make them play one-on-one. Let Bland, let Gilmore, let them go one-on-one. Take that chance. And he said his big concern would be curse on Kittle.
No, listen, I actually agree with 8 in the box until Brock Purdy makes you beat him. All right, if it gets to a point to where you just getting diced up out there and you figure, hey, Gilmore and Bland and Jordan Lewis, and they just can't hold up, then yeah, you got to change some stuff. But coming into the game, the most important person to stop or slow down to me is Christian McCaffrey, because the offense revolves around him. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that we stop him. And then, if the unfortunate event happens that we can't hold up on the back end, which we haven't shown not to be able to. So there's no reason for us to go into the game saying, hey, man, we should be worried. Put them out there. These are the guys that you trusted. These are the guys that you brought in, you drafted, you made deals for to say they're going to come out here and play man-to-man. Dan Quinn has been good so far. So, like I said, I'm going to trust him at the beginning, 8 in the box, and if it doesn't work, then you got to adjust. And I think that's going to be a big part of the game anyways. Like, because if we stop him with 8 in the box, you can guarantee that Shanahan's going to figure out something else to come show us versus just keep running into a wall the whole game.
As safeties, like you just talked about capturing the edge. You see Kittle. You know how devastating of a blocker he is out on the edge. You guys as safeties have to come down in their box if you see all that pressure coming down. Do you feel like when Dan Quinn puts his defense together that that's the one thing that Dono is going to have to do? Number 28, all of these guys are going to have to feel the run. It's going to be on your safeties.
Especially if you're talking about 8 in the box, you know that's man-to-man behind you. So we all understand when you play man-to-man on a specific person, you're on the end of line of scrimmage, and that tight end blocks down, you got to read that and you got to feel the trigger. You got to block replace.
Right.
But that's why I'm kind of nervous about this 8-man box, because if we got people crack replacing this whole time,
right,
you know Shanahan's going to draw something up. Hey, go Kittle, block down on that defensive end and then release. And then we talking about all man eyes on this situation. So if you're cursed and you got Kittle on you, you man-to-man on Kittle, he blocks down, all right, you looking up because you got a crack replace. Man, when that dude slips out of there, it's going to be
That's
tough.
why 8 in the box
And
is.
then-
So are we running 6 technique then?
And then
Are
you
we
look at
putting
it.
D-Law out there? Let him run a 6 technique on Kittle? Because one, you're right. If that's Micah Parsons and he ends up on the Kittle side, then you got to be worried with how that's being blocked. Like how do you protect yourself against Micah Parsons then having to try to defend the run against a Kittle?
Mm-hmm.
But if D-Law's out there, then I'm saying, you know what, hey man, line up, head up 6 technique, and I want you, yes, run, knock him back, because for us, in our mind as the Dallas Cowboys, we saying that's a mismatch. That's what we should be saying.
But will that take away from the pass rush though? Like if he's just worried about let me just bull rush this dude, are you going to leave Purdy back there with enough time? This is a guy that, if I could be wrong, hasn't turned the ball over yet all season. So I mean, and I could be wrong about that stat, but. I mean, this is a guy that he takes care of the ball. He takes what the defense gives you.
He scares me less than letting Christian McCaffrey do. If Christian McCaffrey is doing his thing, everything for Brock Purdy gonna become easy. Like, it's gonna be simple.
Let me say first things first. First things first.
That's the point. It's the Belichick mindset. Take away the best guy.
Okay.
Like, what do I do first? Take him away. And then we go back to what you said before. What have they done? They've come out here and they just bullied you up front. They're going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to run the ball. So if you DQ, take that away. Just make Brock Purdy beat you.
I get it, but I just feel like he did that before. Like he's beaten his team. Like Christian McCaffrey didn't go crazy in the playoffs. Like Brock Purdy made the plays he needed to make.
I mean, at the same time, our offense didn't make the plays they needed to make. Like if you hold a team
defensively, the Cowboys good.
They did
We're like they did
If
enough.
they did that,
to
right?
win.
If they go
to
out,
win.
what I saw last year out there at Levi Stadium, they went and gave that out there on Sunday. That's enough to win.
It is.
Yeah, and we coming here saying that the offense didn't do their job again.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
So
that's facts.
But I got McCaffrey. I got to stop him. I told you. Listen, we've been seeing the numbers that Kittle been putting up. It ain't been
crazy.
nothing crazy. I think our defense is better than some of the defenses that they've played. So I'm betting on us on that one. Okay. And if I ever get him lined up on the right-hand side with a D-Law over there, I'm telling D-Law, line up in the 6 technique.
Jam his neck
And this is man up. And yes, I want to see him 2 yards back. Every time he lined up and he say he needs to block you, I want him to be like, man, here we go. Here we go with the buckle up. Because you got to make that's the type of bully mentality that you got to make.
That they've been hitting us with. That's what they've been hitting us with.
I want to go back to when you were in Jacksonville and you guys went up there for that championship game in New England.
To New England, yeah.
You guys went up there. What was that week like? What was the thought process of how do you go beat the bully?
Oh, we had to make sure you handle Gronkowski. I mean, that to us, that was the main mindset. It was up to me and my safety partner, Tashawn Gibson, to go out there and shut this guy down, especially when you go into the red zone, because we knew how big of a target was. We knew Deion Lewis wasn't going to beat us. We knew Julian Edelman wasn't going to beat us, and whoever else they had on the outside, because we had 2 bona fide corners. When you talk about Ramsey, you talk about A.J. Bouye. We knew that we could take those away. Our defensive line was fierce, so we knew we can get after Tom Brady. The thing was, we had to shut down Gronkowski, and we were able to do that. I smacked the man. He took him out the game. But then Brady did his thing. I mean, we held them boys to 17 points through 4 quarters and 11 minutes, we held them boys and said we did enough to win the game, which, to your point, is what this Cowboys defense did last year. They did enough to hold the 49ers to whatever amount of points they had. The offense just didn't show up. Same thing happened to us. Our offense in the second half, 0 points. Zero points.
Make you scratch that womb off all over again.
You see, I brought it up. I'm
like, start sweating there.
It was real.
So you two are too young to remember this, but the first game that it was Washington coming off the Super Bowl against the Cowboys, and Jimmy just went after him. They ended up, Dust was like 23-7. I think Kelvin Williams had a good game there, but it was like that whole thing. He was like, man, we coming after him right out of the gate. And the Cowboys set the tone for that season, ended up going Super Bowl, but that was their thing right out there. And I feel like this is that kind of game. You got to come out with everything you got here, man. This is the statement that you need to make.
It's your first competition. Let's be completely honest about who we played and how we played in each game, in each situation. All right, our first game is against Danny Dimes. Destroyed. See the game last night?
He trash.
How many points they put up?
He trash.
Let's take a moment of silence right here.
No,
we good.
They put up 3 points.
Most approved.
They put up 3 points last night.
They did.
All right, we play the Jets the next week. Zach?
Well,
okay.
It is.
Then we go up to Arizona. We play Dobbs, and they get the dub on us, dog. And Dobbs looked just like he looked the previous year when he was out there in Tennessee.
That's facts.
All right. Game 4, Mac Jones, dog. Mac Jones, throw across your body multiple times, pick 6, until your coach look at you and say, "What the heck is going on?" Now our first real competition, like CD, hey man. First quarter of the season, this is when you're going to figure it out. This is the dot on the first quarter right here. Okay. How do we look against a team who is undefeated, looking like they can't be beat? Defense, run game, offensive line, Mr. Relevant, playing like top 5 quarterback. You got everything right here, and you got to go to their house, right? This is the time.
That's it.
Let's get our first break in here. Jerry Jones spoke on his show today, and he gave us an update on particular player we spend a lot of time talking about here on the Players Lounge. Do that next right here. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on the DallasCowboys.com radio network.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of you and everyone else absolutely loving new smoothie bowls from Smoothie King. And woo, me too. These smoothie bowls start with acai and pitaya and are handcrafted with fresh toppings like sliced bananas, sweet berries, crunchy Purely Elizabeth granola, and a savory peanut butter drizzle. New smoothie bowls, only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Dallas Cowboy Game Time powered by Lenovo, the official gaming platform and community of the Dallas Cowboys. Sign up now to compete in Madden 24 for a chance to win 2 tickets and a VIP experience to a 2023 Dallas Cowboy home game. Qualifiers begin on October 6th and run through the 13th. Learn more and register at DallasCowboyGameTime.com.
Heckma Harrison, thank you very much. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos, the players at Barry Church, and Danny McCray. I'm Newey Scruggs. All right. Jerry Jones' radio show today, he says Tyron Smith is iffy with a knee issue for Sunday. Left tackle Tyron Smith missed the last game. Cowboys won. Chuma Edoga out there at left tackle. Yeah, I'm the guy that said Tyron Smith.
He just missed the last game?
Make the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's week to week. I'm just worried about last week, and now I'm on to this week.
No, I'm just saying. You said like he missed last game. Like, is that the only game that he missed this year, Newey?
Why we gotta do that?
Just say the whole thing, please.
Go ahead.
All right. He missed the previous week as well.
Okay.
All right.
It's 2 in a row.
And at some point, all right, you got to give the guy that's backing him up a chance to show what he can do, right? And last week, what did we do? We saw it, and albeit not perfect, serviceable as heck.
I would say so.
Sometimes I don't be knowing what side you're on. I thought you was against it.
Who? Me?
Edoga.
Come on,
Nah,
come on, dog.
You've been on that. You've been on that for a minute.
Bro, all last week I said let 71 play tackle.
He with you. Y'all on the same page. Y'all on the same page.
I want to make sure, dog.
Bro, I had his back all last week. I said the man need to get out there and play. You give him an opportunity to get out there and do. I just don't want to see what happened with Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele happen again, okay? I'm going to continue to say this because I believe it. Tyron Smith, when healthy, is an amazing left tackle. When healthy. The issue is he's not often healthy.
Yeah, he ain't never healthy. Yeah.
So I mean, what do you do when we talk about progress stopping? All right, what do you do? All right, you get a guy in there who looks like he can play, and then every once in a while, when you believe that Tyron may be able to play, he's getting some reps, right? But every time he gets some reps, it takes away from a guy who really needs them because he don't have the experience that Tyron has. And then when he gets out there and he plays 60%, right? And you look at him and say, "Oh man, we don't know if we got the solution here at left tackle." Well, you're not giving him a fair shot. So I'm glad he got a fair shot last week. I'm glad he put something on tape. So now you really have to have a discussion eventually to say, if he continues this, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, Edoga did a wonderful job. He filled in great at guard as well. But when you turn on the tape last week versus New England, we was worried about Matthew Judon. I don't think we really had a whole lot to say. Obviously, the Patriots put pressure on Dak Prescott, but I like what Tyler Smith and Edoga did last week. I mean, they had great communication, and I think coming into a week versus San Francisco, you worried as hell about that defensive line, and you know that they're going to have that same amount of communication when going up against those linebackers in the front that San Francisco has. So look, this is the first time, even though we're not at full strength, and I know it's like, God, Lee, when we going to ever get everybody to play? I feel good about Edoga, and I don't go into the San Francisco game with any worries about 71.
No, I'm with both of y'all on this one. At some point in time, you got to realize, 77, maybe he just needs to come into that swing role, a swing tackle type of position. Because like you said, D-Mac, right now, it's looking like a progress stopper. And when you're going against a D-line as formidable, not even a D-line, a front seven as formidable as San Francisco, you want your starting 5 offensive linemen to be playing as a unit, to have gel. And for order that to happen, you got to play these guys all week. You got to let my man get the reps. I can see if Tyron was good. He just had a little stinger, a little hiccup or something. He's going to be there all week practicing. And I don't know, maybe he'll come in and practice Wednesday and this will all be just thrown out the window. But if he's not able to do that, you got to let Edoga get in there and gel as a unit. All right, get those reps in that they're going to need. When those guys are running those ET stunts, and for those who don't understand, attack or end comes on the inside, the defensive tackle goes on the outside and they switch. He's got to be ready for that. That speed can't just shock him all of a sudden because that's going to get Dak Prescott hurt over there. Okay, so to me, 77 Hall of Fame player. I understand his resume, but at some point in time, you got to say, hey, man, let's let the young fella get in there and do what he does. And if we need you in an emergency situations, we got that swing tackle get that swing tackle operation going. But I can see it now, man. I can see it now. Friday coming around. I'm starting to feel good.
I know this. I saw one stunt, and I didn't watch the all 22 yet, but I saw this on the TV copy. Okay, I think they ran a tackle stunt, and it was Tyler Smith, I think, who ended up giving it up. Where, okay, you see that on film, all right? Yeah. These two guys need to be out here practicing that stunt all week because we know who else saw it on film as well. And I think that's what you lose when you don't have those guys out there getting those opportunities at practice. He needs to see that. Both of those guys need to see that 15, 20 times this week because you know you're going to see it again. Because it's not a normal ET study. It came from the whole other side, of the defense.
It's not like it's Zach Martin and Edoga over there. So when they're going in there, Zach Martin can be like, hey, watch this. Yeah. You talking about a second-year player and Edoga? These are two young cats, man. If you don't think Shanahan and those boys are going to try some stunts and try to get in those guys' heads, you're out your mind. So get the guy some reps, man. Let's go. Get him some reps.
Now, please.
What you thinking, big dog?
Nah, yeah, please. I like it's time, bro. Go ahead and say it.
What he gonna do, man?
No.
On the fence?
Are you throwing your hands up? Have you given up?
No, it's a long season.
It's a long season. Let me ask this though. You guys been in the locker rooms long enough. And I'm not trying to start a rumor here either way. I'm not,
your fifth one of the season.
Hold on. But do you guys ever talk in the locker room and say, look, man, the youngsters over here playing. You know, the youngsters giving us a better chance over here, man. When you come, do y'all? I know locker room politics and just how you talk.
The youngsters saying that for sure. No, it's some guys up, you know, like the friend, because you know guys are friends. They've been around each other for a long time. So it's some guys in there who are like, nah, bro, you the guy, Hall of Fame guy, whatever. But it's some young guys in there who are not friends with the upper echelon of players at that time, and the whispers are starting.
Jeez,
I guess based on what you just asked them, take me back to the Terrence Steele, L. Collins kind of thing versus last year when you had Tyron and they were ramping him up to bring him back kind of thing. How are those two players viewed where, gets a Tyron all-decade guy with the Pro Bowls versus Collins who had yet to make a Pro Bowl? And that debate that we were all having in here of, hey, Steele's done well with the opportunity he's had. So how do you view that?
I think when you talk about that Lyle Collins and Steele situation, I think everybody, I don't know this for sure, but I think everybody in that locker room had to side with Steele on this situation because it wasn't like it was, an injury or something like that. And I think he did get hurt, but he brought that on himself, that suspension and all that. He brought that on himself. It wasn't like he got Wally pipped or anything. You trying to bribe the man. You brought that on yourself. So when that man comes and fills your spot and he's balling out, I mean, the players are gonna say, "Hey, man, that's on you right there." Yeah, for 4 games. It ain't like it was it was a quarter of the season. Like that's a nice sample size, and that man was balling. So I had to side with Steele on that one. What you think about?
Well, I mean, I think the situation was different too because I think at that time we had Peters. We had Peters out there. Tyler Smith was a rookie who was coming in playing left guard, left tackle. So it was a more dire situation on the left than it was on the right. But then we had felt a way about Terrence Steele because of his growth as a player at that time, right? Just us being people. We were like, we saw what happened to him when he first got in as a starter, and he had a rough go at it. And then we heard, hey man, he's been doing great. He came in, did all the right things, put some muscle on, worked on his technique, and then you got to see him go out there and say, you know what? He's actually a much better player. So we were like, bought in. Like, we appreciate guys who go out there and do everything they need to do, and when they get the opportunity to show that they gotten better, they did it. So I think for us, it was a lot of that as well. Because Leo was still a good,
he's a good player. Dude. He just, and it kind of reminds me of the situation when we was young. We was young, but Terrence Newman. He was on his later years at the cornerback position. He was getting hurt a little bit. Some guys were taking advantage of him because he might have lost a step. And then you had, who was it? Was it Mike Jenkins in there? Scandrick, who was doing this thing. And I forget who on the other side, what other corner was on that other side. But the rumbling started a little bit in that secondary room. Like, hold on, man. Like, these young guys are doing their thing. Do they deserve to get a little bit more playing time? And I forget what happened at that situation. If we just released Terrence Newman at the end, or if he ended up, he got hurt.
He had the injury, that's the lung or the rib or something. But he ended up going to play on for a few, but he lost a step.
He lost a big time.
It was the abdominal.
Yeah,
that's what the abdominal thing there. And so look, the tough thing for the Cowboys is You're in that same situation Baltimore's in with Ronnie Stanley. You got a guy who's good but never plays, and you've just come to expect it. And then add on to the fact you've used 2 draft picks, Matt Waletzko and Josh Ball. Neither guy has been able to help you out. That's 3 spots where what you were hoping didn't happen. This is awful. Now they've been able to play through it. Udoka, as you talked about, because guys look good on tape. But this has got to be the last year you allow this to happen. Did this truly figure out?
You're spending money on this too.
I said this has to be the last year. You cannot have 3 guys not available for you at the tackle position in the National Football League, because Lord knows what happens if something happens to Udoka or Steele. You're really up a bad creek. So, you know what a Tyrant fan I am. But they've allowed this to happen now for a number of years, and we keep seeing yourself fall into this
welcome,
spot.
bro. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Y'all kicking and screaming when he finally arrived.
He was like, man, go ahead, bro. I'm going to go ahead and say it, dog. After I heard all this. Come on, man. It happens all the time. Like we said, every time. I mean, Dak and Romo.
I forgot all about that one.
Dak and Romo.
You talk about rumbling.
Were they whispering in the locker room? Because I wasn't in there, but I can guarantee you some dudes like, man, I actually like Buddy. He actually playing good.
Man, look, when your best friend don't go to bat for you, I mean, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
The way Brett Favre and Troy buried him and Jimmy buried him on that Fox broadcast in Green Bay was cold. That was one of the it just didn't happen like they all.
Was it worse than Rodney?
Yeah, man.
It was worse than
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because Jerry listens.
Oh yeah.
And this was them nationally, because that was at the time of, hey, remember the old adage, hey, a starter to lose his job, and they kept saying it's going to be Romo's job, it's going to be Romo's job. But that Green Bay game, I don't know if they didn't make him 6 or 7-0 at that point in time. It was right around there. But you had Aikman was doing the game with Buck, and then they brought Favre up in the booth. You can't take him out. Look at this. It's all good. So that
we was rolling that game too. We was rolling.
Then they had Jimmy. Jimmy did the halftime show. Jimmy, you can't do it.
Can't take him out.
At that point in time, I was like, man, they all knew what they were doing.
What were y'all saying? In the locker room, were y'all saying we gonna be better if Romo's in here when he get back, or y'all was like, this is
defensive side? We was like, man, look, this man done won 7 straight games. Man, don't take this man out. I mean, you had cats on the offensive side that was like, come on, man, he can come back and he can
y'all was
orchestrate this. We was like, man, heck no, man, put this man back in there. Y'all crazy, man.
Was the Green Bay game before Pittsburgh or after?
Before Pittsburgh.
Okay,
it was
that's
before
what I thought.
Pittsburgh.
That's what I thought. It was the Green Bay game. Then it was going to Pittsburgh after that, and then that was when it was.
It was concrete.
Right, that was right. It was like, go ahead, pour the.
Him and Dez had a connection, and then Dez started chirping for him, and it was over after that. Man, it was a wrap.
That Green Bay game was really when it was like, yeah, man, no.
But if you're tiring, add another layer to it. What if you're tiring? I mean, with all the time you done put in, with all the good work you done finally put in, you finally get a defense, you get a team that look like they can push there,
they gonna want it.
So bounce on what you just said there. It's Nick Bosa this week. It's
Nick Bosa's gonna be on T Still most of the game, right?
Come
move.
I'm Shanahan. Hey, come on over here.
Both 4 and 5.
Pick your matchup. Where you want to go?
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens this week. If 71 is not able to get it done this week, it'd be a little bit different. But
all 3 of them gonna see Nick Bosa. 77, 71.
Everybody.
Steve Wilkes will have something for them. There's no doubt about that. By the way, Steve Wilkes didn't get that Carolina job. Anybody see what Carolina is?
They look terrible. Who's that? Was that Frank Wright out there?
0-4.
Man, Frank Wright.
Old quarterback whisperer, huh?
He keep bouncing back. That man get a job.
He gonna get one. He gonna get one.
Gonna be starting in the middle.
He's waiting this time too. Like, yep.
He went out and had a heck of a game with Adam Thielen, man, on my fantasy team as well. I was so mad when Bryce Young got back out there. God, man.
The man, can he see over the line?
Don't do him like that, man. Don't do him.
Alabama quarterback, man.
Things happen fast in this league, man. Things happen fast,
man. Alabama quarterbacks are struggling.
Tua.
They giving them a bad name.
Tua.
Okay.
Come on, dog. Tua having a good year. Y'all, don't forget last year and the year before that.
It's the 2-9.
It take 3 games for y'all to forget that. Then they just went out there and got almost 70 put up on them the week after that.
Wasn't Tua's fault. Swagger fans.
That was not.
People
You can't put that on tour,
He was
boy.
talking about the Pixie Dust that ran out a couple weeks ago. That they went out there and put 50 on.
It's time for a break. Harrison, Barry
boy.
Church, I'm Dewey Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Mark your calendar and get your Letterheisen and Steins ready. Frisco Oktoberfest officially returns for their 4th annual celebration on Saturday, October 7th at the Star in Frisco, featuring Bavarian-inspired activities, delicious food and drink, and plenty of great live entertainment. Visit thestardistrict.com/events for more information.
That boy good.
He believes in himself. That boy good.
That boy good. When you start singing Read the Rainbow,
Butterfly in the sky.
Man,
throw the whole thing away.
Hey,
man.
take your time. Follow the word.
Y'all out of pocket, man.
It be your own people. Man. It be your own people. You ain't got to wait on nobody else.
It's out of love, dog. It's out of love. It's all.
Thank you, Heckma Harris.
Oh, man.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. DallasCowboys.com radio.
I don't want to stay on this. I just want to make sure we revisit this every week that we watch Daniel Jones play. Okay,
Oh, no,
every week.
We right here.
Okay, all right, my bad.
Where we go. Last
My bad.
night, Monday Night Football.
Bad news. Bad news.
Seattle at the Giants. D-Mac, you had Seattle beating the Giants 24-16. Heckman, you had it 24-13. Church, you had it 28-7. I had it 28-14. The final score was 24-3.
How close?
Daniel Jones was 27 of 34 for 203 yards passing, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, took 10 sacks, and had a QBR of 22.
Man,
and the head coach threw the tablet after he talked to him.
He did.
And,
I've done that to my 3-year-old.
You know the motion, don't you? You know the motion.
Now, why would you?
You know the motion.
That's
You know the motion. That was parental as hell, wasn't it?
Somebody on the show said, what was the exact thing that you
Most
said about-
improved. Most improved. Not MVP. Not MVP. Most improved. I even said he would be the 3rd best quarterback in the division.
I thought we
said
deaded
that.
it.
And he's done.
He's
That's
I
right.
thought we
That boy trash bags.
Yeah, because he the
That boy
most
trash-
something.
That boy trash bags.
I thought we let you off on that one, bro.
Yeah.
You could have. It was
I
something.
did. I said he's trash. He's trash
At least you
bags,
didn't tiki
man.
yourself. You ain't tiki.
Man.
100 out of 100.
Man, Tiki was trash.
No, he did tiki himself because what he said was he said that the Giants was going to be number 2 in the division.
What did I say, though? What did I say, though?
Whoever didn't win
What
first was
did
going
I
to win
say,
third.
though?
What'd you say?
What I said?
You're right, though.
All about health. I said if they team healthy, they could do. They lost their two best offensive players, Saquon and Thomas, and this was before the season, before we knew. My man,
you better
They got beat 40. They lost 43 with Saquon in the game.
Yeah, against a historic defense. I mean, what you want me to say?
My God.
That's okay. He's the fourth best quarterback, and he would be 20th if they had 20 in the
If you don't follow on your sword, just lay next to it. It's going to be all right, man. You was wrong.
I said I was wrong last
Let's
week.
just move on.
2 weeks ago, I said I was wrong.
I said I was wrong. No. But this is going to be his all season. He going to have to own this. All season.
You see
he got to
how
own
we
this.
bring up my mishaps.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about anybody else's mishaps or who they picking to win this and win that. We don't want to say too much about that. That's okay.
That's my job. That's my job.
Let's keep rolling.
I mean, you was very admitt about this Daniel Jones thing. You was very adamant.
I'm trying to remember what I wrote down.
He can't get it. You know that's bad. He looking for dirt over there. Look how we talking.
The receipt is already out.
Got to go digital, dog.
We all, when you said it, the three of us were like, what?
Yeah.
Most improved.
Yeah, he said he's wrong. That's all right. But next week he's gonna hit again.
Daniel Jones is stealing money. All right,
they
paid the wrong person. Whatever decision they was trying to make. I understand we are in this running back situation where you don't know what to do with the running back position, but paying Daniel Jones was a bad decision.
That's not it.
Now this coach has to deal with that. They're gonna have to do something phenomenal to get off this contract.
I don't know who's gonna pick him up. That's the thing. I don't know who's gonna.
Somebody gonna say.
Somebody.
Oh my God!
I'm wondering though. Is this one of those contracts? It says 4, but
it's really a 2 year.
Right. You get out after 2.
It could be.
I think that
they may be willing to eat all that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this though. I don't care how bad I play. Don't be throwing no iPad at me, dog. I don't give it. It's on national TV. You gonna let the man? Come on, dog.
You know what? That just shows you how wrong he was, and the man did do that.
Yeah, it was a couple times.
You could be bad playing, but that's disrespectful,
Danny
man.
Dawson running off the field, and he was like, "I'm just trying to get the hell out of here. I'm just trying to leave." But on the flip side, I'm telling, bro, shout out to Geno and the Seattle Seahawks because they kept bringing up all the draft picks and people that they got from that trade with Russell Wilson. And all of them was balling yesterday.
Turned it into something.
All of them was balling yesterday. Geno got paid last year, and you talk about a journeyman?
Yeah.
Talk about a journeyman?
All over the place.
And found him a home, and then you like, okay, well, I don't know if this is the right deal or not. He had one good year, and they're a winning football team.
It's coaching, man. Drew Lock came in there and looked all right. Like, it's coaching. Like, you can't tell me that you just rather have Drew Lock than Zach Wilson. I mean,
Tyler Lockett still out there doing his thing.
Exactly.
Metcalf, the defense out there balling. Wagner went to L.A. and back to
and look like he's still playing the same.
17 tackles.
What is going on?
Hey, first of all, Khalil Mack got 6. My bad. Khalil Mack got 6 in one game, and then they followed that up with a 10-piece.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
So stay there. We know Philly, San Francisco 4-0, but let's look at these 3-1 teams where the Cowboys fit in next. You got Detroit 3-1 leading their division, Tampa Bay's 3-1 leading their division, Seattle is 3-1. How do we feel about those 3-1 teams?
I think Dallas is the best out of those 3-1 teams, but Tampa's done a lot. I mean, Tampa surprised me this year. Shake and bake, he's got out there, he's rolling. Who was the other 3-1 team? It was
Seattle.
Got Seattle.
Seattle. Geno Smith looking good. So yeah, it's gonna be a tight race. It's gonna be a tight
Cowboys
race.
Play 2 of those 3.
You see
Detroit.
That's the one because Detroit. They just got flexed on Sunday, I think, because all of a sudden people want to watch the Detroit Lions play, in competitive games. I think. Us in Detroit right now, I'm not even. I don't feel comfortable picking either one of us over each other because I think it's pretty even. With Detroit is a very good team this year. They went on the road and they beat Kansas City. Like that is a huge statement win. We don't have one of those yet. Our opportunity comes this week to go up to San Francisco and do that. So that Detroit one is but they're all good teams and surprising. Because you got Baker Mayfield as a quarterback there, and then you also have Geno Smith who got paid, but people were still like, we're not sure about that one. And look at the coaching and the process that they got.
I just wonder if you guys notice how much bad football is being played.
It's a lot of bad tackling.
It's a lot of bad football, a lot of bad tackling. But I'm just saying, some bad football being played. Of the 3-1 teams, man, I don't know who Tampa is. I don't know. I think they're in a bad division, and look, they're squeaking out some victories. I think Seattle, and it not even being recency bias, they look like a complete team. It's just the way that they compete on offense and defense. They look like they got ball hawks over there on the defense. And granted, 10 sacks, anybody gonna look good. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that defense look good. But man, we're right where we need to be. A victory versus the 49ers. That 49ers defense is going to give us hell. And we're going to find out how tough we are up front. You've been talking about this offensive line since it was hot. It's still hot. But you've been talking about this offensive line and how we're going to compete. You want to know, what does Tony Pollard have? Man, maybe the wrong weekend to be down to your third running back, because we saw how good that combo was working. Nobody's even talking about Tony Pollard going back to Levi Stadium after breaking his leg. What is that? Mentally, you got scars all over for breaking stuff. So what does that do to a player having to go back, especially with everything that's on the table? Man, this is a big one. It can't be understated, man. It's a big game.
All right, well, those are your 3-1 teams. Clearly, Detroit doing a heck of a good job for our Cowboy boys. Dan Campbell. But shout out to Todd Bowles, who's probably the coach most people thought was going to get fired.
Yes, facts.
So Todd Bowles, team's in first place, and he's clearly made the adjustment without Tom Brady, something that's been a little challenge for Mr. Belichick.
Oh, Bill.
So
one man's trash is another man's trash.
Tomorrow, let's get into the power rankings, because they'll be completed there since the Monday night game is there, and we get ready for Thursday, the Commanders and Bears. Thursday night football.
Commanders and Bears.
Get your popcorn ready.
Hey, Chris Beam, you got to get the toilet bowl flush thing sound for that, man.
Like Commanders and Bears. Man, that's gonna be.
Matt Eberflus, looking forward to that. All right, Barry Church, Heck Maher, Danny McCray. I'm Newey Scruggs. Thanks to Chris Beam, Chaz, Will, Josh, everybody.
Toledo representative,
It's
man.
over.
That's bad news.
And so he ain't pay his dues either.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?